We're live. I gotta get my. No. Well, I am live. It's live now, but as usual, there's always something I'm missing. I did not have the timer on where it comes down to see who was all on here. I'm waiting on Tony to come in, and then I'll put him up here where the to the left of me. We I'm just wait a couple minutes here and see if we get somebody. Supposed to be live now with a current mic. I don't see anybody here. We're going to give it a few minutes. Hello, Gail. Do you hear me all right? See me? Do you see and hear me okay? I don't. Dina is here, but she's not at the computer. I got a cat laying beside me. Moses is laying right beside me. He's been all over me today. Um, we're kind of waiting for the snow, waiting on Tony to come in here in a few minutes. Do you hear me okay? Okay, great. Gail hears me. We're waiting for a few people here. I'm waiting on for Tony to come in here. Um, let me see if I can send him another message. Well, no, I'll wait on a minute. It may not. He may think it's not 8 o'clock. Um, but I'm gonna get a couple of people in here. You hear me loud and clear. Good. Well, that's 8:03 on my computer. There, just an alarm going off. Uh, Mac, glad to see you too. Good, you can hear me. We're waiting for the snow. It's supposed to come in here about, I guess, 2 o'clock. So we're kind of waiting on. We're under a winter storm warning right now. We're actually in Albertville, Alabama. So we'll get talking about these a few things, and are waiting for Tony to come in here. Um, he was hoping he would get snow down there where he is, but that's just not going to happen. We might not have many people here tonight because there's a football game going on. Football, fires, and snow. Will be Notre Dame and State's playing right now, which I had forgotten about, believe it or not. But let me just talk about a few things here while we do have y'all two here. Uh, this is one that a missing person that's been missing here for now about 5 or 6 weeks. Yeah, waiting for snow in Georgia too. That's right. Uh, this is a missing Huntsville, Alabama real estate agent. He would talk to his family, his friends the night before he went missing. Uh, they pinged his phone all the way up the interstate, um, all the way up the interstate, all the way to Jackson, Tennessee. But they found his car abandoned on the interstate, um, and they towed it. And the state troopers, excuse me, I don't know why it does that every time I'm on there now. It makes me tired. But anyway, they've had prayer vigils. They've had everything for this. He apparently is a pretty successful realtor there in Huntsville and well thought of, and his family's just worried sick about him, and they can't imagine what is going on with him. Um, I don't know why. Poor Tony is. This it says here, Huntsville real estate agent who disappeared last week. Now I took this out. This is not honestly. It's been I think it was 15th of December there. He made it. His phone at least made it to Jacksonville, and it's just about nine. It was 60 miles. Found his car about 60 miles away. Jackson, Tennessee is on up there. I think it's up just east of Nashville. I'm not really 100% sure. Missing man reported filed. Missing person report has been filed under here. Ronald Dumas, I think it is, Jr., on Tuesday, December 17th at 9:48 a.m. He was last heard from on Sunday, December 15th. Apparently, he wasn't married. Um, HPD, and that's Huntsville Police Department, said that according to the report, Dumas was out with people on Sunday. However, his family and friends didn't know who they were. So that's a problem right there because he might have got mixed up with the wrong people at a club or something and ended up some type of foul play. On December 16th, the Tennessee Highway Patrol found his vehicle on the side of Interstate 40. Tennessee Highway Patrol dispatched a car about an abandoned vehicle around 6:30 that morning, and then found the vehicle at mile marker 133 in Camden, Tennessee. And it's about, I think they said it was about 9 minutes from Jackson. I don't know why I can't get Tony said he's going to be because he's supposed to report something for me. Uh, says we have reason. It say we have reason to believe that he made it to Jackson, Tennessee. His phone location history shows that on December the 16th, about 7 a.m., the phone was just on I-40, just outside of Jackson. HPD said 2 days after the vehicle was impounded. That's pretty quick too, because I've seen them sit on the side of the road for a long time. Discovered it belonged to Dumas, and said multiple state troopers to the. Uh, let me see. They dispatched multiple state troopers to the mile marker where the vehicle was, and they had a search for him on foot, but they did not find him. That's December the 19th. HPD sent requests out for location history from Dumas's cell phone tower service providers. To the following day, the investigators traveled to see the vehicle and to survey the area of I-40 where the vehicle was found. HPD has discovered the vehicle had likely broken down on December the 16th, and yet he never called his family or never called his friends for any help. And as far as I know, they haven't had any credit cards or anything, you know, come up in his name. Authorities said the THP State Troopers, Tennessee, had a helicopter, and two Tennessee Bureau investigators and agents were also sent to search for more information. And they searched the area. They had search teams out there on foot and that helicopter, and they never did find him. Um, the cell history revealed that Dumas' cell phone was traveling west on I-40 past the mile marker 133 toward Jackson at 6:08 a.m., where his phone history showed less than an hour later. So obviously, what they believe that he had car problems, and then he actually maybe got a ride to Jacksonville. But it's just uh, I don't know if they did. You would think they did. Mindy, is it Mindy? Yeah. Uh, they would think they did check. Most clubs in Huntsville have some type of cameras in the location or outside the location, especially around their parking lots. So it looked like to me they would, and the interstate may even had cameras at certain locations, but they're not saying, and they're not overly. Everything I've read about this is not overly concerned. Thought, no talk about. Um, there's no talk about possible foul play or anything like this. No, Mac, you're not making me sleepy. Actually, I don't sleep well at night. Good now at night because I spent about 25 years on night shift, and it's still hard for me to go to bed and sleep. I hardly ever go to sleep past earlier than about 2 o'clock a.m. Uh, so it's just it. Sometimes, and I sit up. If I sit up in the chair too long, I might go to sleep. And that's bad, but is. Let me find out where Tony's at.
I sent him a message.
Did you? Did he not respond?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, we sent him a message anyway. But I was trying to send her waiting on snow and ice here. How many of y'all expect snow tonight while we're waiting on Tony here? How many of y'all where you are expect snow?
Max expecting it
In Georgia, yes. What about Gail? Where you at? What state? And Mindy, where you at? What state? He's talking about these cameras around these clubs and everything. Um, some clubs that we used to live down in Orange Beach, Alabama, and they have actually some clubs down there. They'll have cameras in the parking lot, but others they'll actually have cameras in the club. And oh, Missouri, yeah, I bet y'all do have snow out there. Uh, they'll have cameras in the clubs, but they'll actually have a camera up there that has like a sign at the bottom of it saying, smile, you're on our web page, and they publish. Hello, Nicole. You're in North Carolina. Yeah, you are expecting it. They'll have like they'll pose in front of this camera, but most of the rest of the club does not have cameras. And the reason, they have a number of reasons why they don't want to be on. Some people, they don't want their neighbors to see them in these clubs, or they don't want their, people for whatever reason. Yeah. Um, for one reason or another, they don't want to be seen. But most of them have them in the parking lots. I mean, look at Walmart. Oh my gosh, Walmart gets you. If you go to Walmart, you're on camera everywhere. They got cameras everywhere. So you would think that they had it. I know that some of the cameras on the interstate at some of the exits have it. And I know up on 65 now, on 40 runs east and west. 40 would have to probably be coming out of Nashville, I would think. But they have them at rest areas. They have them at truck stops. They have them at trucking. If you weigh, the truck weighs it. But I guess they're trying to find out if if they have any pictures of him inside Jackson where I know Jackson if it's Johnson City, but Jackson, I don't know how much how big a city it is. I should have looked that up, but a lot of stores, just about all your convenience stores, they've got cameras in it. At your gas pumps and everything. So it looks like to me that they're probably police would probably check all of the gas stations up there and find out if they had any pictures of cars coming up with a black male riding with other black males or white males. I don't know the racial. I don't know the racial demographic of Jackson. Um, is probably. Can you look up and see how big Jackson, Tennessee is?
Okay.
And Dina's going to look up that and see if she can find out how large Jackson is. Um, and high about I-40 there. Let's see.
I'm looking at the population.
Yeah, find out
What's
how
the
big Jackson is.
population of Jackson, Tennessee?
It's not Jackson City or Johnson City. It's Jackson.
68,205.
Okay, well, there's 68,000 people, 205 according to the Google, but 68,000, a pretty large city. So it's not as large as Huntsville is, but you would think that they had multiple, especially around the interstate, they would have multiple stuff if they have some type of information that places his phone at least in Jackson, and then you think I-40. But the biggest thing is he didn't uh, tell anybody apparently where he was. Here comes Tony. He didn't tell him where who he was going with anyway. Hold on here, Tony. I'll get you in here. You you're you're white, very white tonight. Hold on a second. No, I don't want to go. Hold on just a minute. There it is. I'll get you in here in a minute. Do you have you got any voice here?
Yep.
Say hello.
Hello.
No, I do not have you audio for you.
Oh. Okay.
I don't see audio for you. Can you make
Testing.
sure that you got your audio turned on, Tony? Hold on just a second. Maybe it's me. Say it again.
Test 1 2.
All right, I got you now. Maybe it may have been me. It may have been my problem.
Hello, Anthony.
It's Tony. It's not Anthony. It's Tony. He goes by.
Hello, Anthony.
He's trying to
Hello.
solve. He's trying to solve that America's Most Wanted thing. Where? Oh, here he is. Okay. All right. All right. We talked about our real estate guy while I was waiting on you. You were late, and we were talking about a real estate guy from Huntsville. That did you hear anything about him or read anything about him? He was missing on the 17th of December. He hadn't been seen since. Went out clubbing in Huntsville, and
Clubbing.
well, he went out with some friends. His parents, and nobody knows what friends. They think he might have been in a club or a restaurant or somewhere, and that he disappeared. His car was found on Interstate 40, abandoned, some type of car problems, and his phone was pinging in Jackson, Tennessee, which has about 68,000 people according to Google. But haven't seen him, heard from him since, and he was a fairly established real estate agent in Huntsville. So, you know, he might have got with somebody saying they wanted a house. He may have went to show him a house and then they robbed him, or they did something with him, nefarious with him. I mean, here it is in January, and he's been missing now for about 3 weeks. And his family's worried about him. They had a vigil for him. I think it was the night before last. So,
They've already traced his cell phone and all that too.
oh yeah, they've done all that. Huntsville PD's working it. Tennessee State Troopers are working it. This is a picture of him right here. Um, it says missing Huntsville man. Phone pinged 60 miles west after car found. Cell location history shows he was in Jackson. Haven't seen since 12:15, and they didn't show up apparently to work or where he was.
Where exactly was his car found?
It was found on Interstate 40 just outside of Jackson, Tennessee.
Just on the side of the highway.
Yeah, they think it had a. They think it was it broken down up there. So
No keys left in it or anything?
I don't know. They went up. What they did was, how they put a missing person in NCIC, and they sent some people up there. That ran the car apparently, and it came
Right.
up, boom, missing person. So they sent multiple people up there. They sent a helicopter, and they searched the area and everything, but they couldn't find him. And they did. They went and got a history of his phone, where it pinged at different locations, and they found out that it has pinged inside Jackson, Tennessee, but that's as far as they know so far that they're putting out. They may know something else. As you know, police are not always forthcoming with information if they think maybe there's foul play.
I'll play.
Mindy, I don't know if you've been here before, and the ones that are, and Nicole, I don't know if you have either, but me and Tony both are retired law enforcement, and excuse me, Tony and I are both retired law enforcement. With I've got 33 years, and Tony's got about 30 something, right? So we're at he and Tony, as you can see, the white hair, he's older than me, but but we've got us about
You're hilarious.
60 years combined. Um,
Don't encourage him, Tony.
yeah, don't encourage me. But I need a haircut again. I've been trying to get Dina to cut it short as it was last time, but she's kind of.
Is that already the snow that's snowing up there
No,
where
it ain't.
you're at, or
It hadn't.
is that your hair?
It hadn't been snowing yet. It will though, and I am going to get some pictures of it and try not to get out and get hurt in it. I fell today. I was at the farm today putting out some corn for my deer and raccoons so they would have something to eat. And I was walking through the woods and I tripped on a fence that was laying down.
So
And
we need to get you a walker.
no, I fell. I mean, I busted it. And of course, I couldn't. Dina was in the Jeep and she was way down way down from me. I couldn't. If I'd have been hurt, she'd have had to come find me later on. But lucky I wasn't hurt. I was just hurt my pride a little bit. But that's about it.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it busted it too. I guarantee I'll probably have a bruise on my pride spot because it hurt. I mean,
Well,
I just went boom straight down.
as long as you didn't have to get back to the house and change your depends, then you were all right.
You funny. All right. Well, let's talk about this other one. This is a case that I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation. Um, this young boy, he's been missing since November of last year. And let me run down and show you the pictures. I've got a bunch of pictures. I had all this put together, and it disappeared on me. I had to put it in there again. This is his pictures. His name is Sebastian Roberts. He has says here update: 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers has been missing. I think it's sometime November 10th. I got these little place up here. It blocks my sight. You might be able to see it, on there that I don't. But he is autistic, and he disappeared from his home. Now, his mother says that he was not the type to wander off. His dad, right there, I think she was either separated from him. I'm not sure, but he left. They're saying on here he fled, but I don't I don't know that he fled. I think he just left the area right now. But this was scenes of a long. I think it was a Longhorns or a one of the steakhouses the day before he was reported missing. And I took this off of video, some pictures, because I couldn't take the video. It came off another person's site, and I didn't want to get a copyright strike. But I thought it was weird. This is a weird. This down the bottom, right over the word spotlight. That's his mother, and that's him right over the word statements. Do you see? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Uh, what happened was this. This was, I think it was Longhorns. This was, they were there eating at this place the day before he became missing. And the weird thing of it is, one of the retired FBI agents' web pages where I got this from, she is a female. I can't remember her name. It's a weird name. She said that the picture of him, he was just eating like he was starving. They said he was just really, really eating, how you'd see. But I don't know. It's maybe the way he eats all the time, because him being autistic. You may not know. But this is, see if I can get over to one of the pages. Now she's taking a picture of him right here. That's the mother. She took several pictures of him when she was at this steakhouse, several pictures, and she was always looking at her phone. But that looking at her phone in general is not a big, indicator. But taking several pictures like that with him going missing the next day, it's kind of weird to me. There he she took. I don't know if this is the same time. I took several of the ones you can see there. That was one of the ones she took a picture of him right here. Even while he was eating, she was taking a picture of him. Um, and right, what she does here, she starts looking around. In the video I watched, she's looking around in this place, and I mean it's like she's actually looking for someone that she knows. And I mean, she drained her head all the way to the right and all the way back to the left. I mean, it was obvious. This wasn't just um, like I'm just checking out the people. I mean, if I occasionally I will do this if I'm in a restaurant, I'll be looking around at who's in here and just kind of scoping the place out. Most of the time I am, just to make sure I don't know anybody or I don't know the cook, you know, because it has happened before that I have had the cooks actually, it was somebody that I had put in jail at the city I used to live in. And in fact, the last time Dakota, our son, was out eating with us, uh, one of the cooks came into the plate, our table, and said, "I know you don't recognize me, do you?" And I said, "No, I don't." He said, and he introduced himself. He said, "You put me in jail for drugs X amount of time, a couple of years ago, and I want you to know that you saved my life." That's exactly what he said. And he thanked me, and he went back in the back, and Dakota said, "Great. I'm the only one that eats something that came ordered from the back, because I had ate the salad bar and he ordered from the back." I said, "Yeah, Dakota, he thanked me. But anyway, she is looking around. She's obviously looking for somebody. And this is, to me, it's just odd. Uh, there she was looking actually over his head, sort of. She had stopped and she was looking to the right and looking. I mean, it was almost really, I don't know, it was almost really obnoxious the way she was doing it. Like if she wasn't looking for somebody to meet somebody there or to try to find somebody there or then it would be odd. It was really be odd. Now, this is actually um, I want to say this is his dad, but I don't think he is, that they are married the way I understand it. But in this statement here, he said um, that he just wants to find his son, And the weird thing he said in this was, he said, I want to find my son and get him back staying with somebody that loves him. And that it kind of sent kind of a thing over me, was he may have been in, putting a statement out there for maybe that, he may have some questionable opinions of his wife or whatever. But it's just very, very strange. Um, she just seems very strange. Um, and like I said, the very next day, he disappears from the house. He didn't leave. I mean, apparently he stayed by himself some. The parents would leave him at the house by himself some. But I've heard everything from it's a gang initiation to he just ran away to somebody knocked on the door and grabbed him. The thing is, they don't know exactly what happened to him, uh, and because of the fact is that uh, it's November of last year, and they've been reporting pretty steady on him. Pretty steady. He looks he's 15, I think, and he really looks younger than 15. Um, and he does have autism, but it's not.
Most children that have autism um, are always kind of appear much younger than what they might be.
Yeah, and it's not severe. In other words, he did have some. Um, I think he was slow in some areas. Maybe he didn't go. I don't know if he went to regular school, but it was more like he knew what was going on. But, the movie Forrest Gump. Or Forrest Gump was in that movie. They actually portrayed him as being very low IQ, 70, an IQ of 70. But I kind of think he was more of a autistic, or maybe had a case of Asperger's. In the Asperger, I pronounce it?
Asperger's.
Yeah, Asperger's, where you have it's a maybe just a you don't you don't have the social ability like other people have. But they it says here that their mom and their stepdad continue to search key areas near their Hendersonville home, um, where he went missing. And I don't know if you know anything about Hendersonville, but they claim Hendersonville area is the Hollywood of Tennessee. So I mean, it's a lot. Most of the houses in that area are huge, and that a lot of people that live there have a lot of money, like be engineers, doctors, stuff like that. But we're going to continue to follow this case because it's very strange to me, and the fact that the boy's been missing all this time, and I mean. There's still all kinds of information out there, and there's like every week they're trying to they have search parties and everything else. But I think, to me, I don't.
Has there been a mixed message as to when he was last seen, where he was?
He was
Uh,
last seen at his house.
well, that's what I'm saying. There's not a
That's it.
different story since then, correct?
No, I don't think so. One thing, only thing, I don't know if they've polygraphed the mother and the father yet. I don't know if they've done that, or if maybe they're watching them enough to.
If the child was in such a disability that he was not necessarily cognitive of his surroundings and his boundaries, then they should have had the child on Project Lifesaver and if you remember, I used to do that, and it was for anybody that either had Alzheimer's or a child that had autism or any kind of issue where someone could wander off that was under a need of care to that degree. Then we had a tracer on the patient, and they would be able to, in the event that they walked off, then we would be able to find them pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't know that if he had a caretaker there at the house or not, too. I would think he did, but who I don't know the degree of his disability.
Okay.
You know, did you want to talk about something else, or
Well, the only thing I talked to you about earlier today, I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I know that there was some kind of a hearing today, and they were bringing experts on that case involving the Slender Man kids that
yeah, they
tried to.
did. They let her out, made the national news.
They did. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Not out yet. That judge said they've got to make everything right for her to get out.
yeah. I mean, she'll probably have to go to a halfway house and get
Hmm.
back. And I know they had the victim's mother and father protested the letting her out, and but I want to say they spent like 20 years in the the crazy house. I don't know if it was that long, but the 3 years ago the other girl got out, and now this girl. I mean, they think that they've cured her of whatever she had that was causing her to stab somebody like 60 something times. Didn't kill her. That's amazing that the girl lived. I think if she had not lived, they wouldn't be getting out, though. I think they probably would still be in there.
Hmm.
But she did live, according to I thought she didn't, but she did. And it's kind of hard to understand. They did this to prove that Slender Man was real. That's what they said. They were trying to prove to somebody that Slender Man was real. I don't know. It seems kind of weird that he stabbed somebody that many times to prove some type of creature, some type of book thing or whatever he is.
Hmm.
I remember the case, and I remember everything that happened on it. Um, One other thing I wanted to mention to you too is I knew that I listened to it, and I wanted to tell you that they did let the girl out, or out, she is getting out.
Hmm.
Is that you? I know you remember uh, the the guy, the police officer, got 20 years up at Chavez, and put his knee on his neck
Oh
up
yeah.
there. Well, now they have filed a motion uh, to have. I think they're going to exhume that guy's body because they've got some evidence came in that he was on so much fentanyl and so much drugs in his system
Well, the autopsy already came
that
back, and he didn't die from asphyxiation.
right that they're going to try to prove that he died of the actual drugs, not the so it might mitigate how much time that guy gets. I know he
Hmm.
got sentenced like for 25, 30 years.
Hmm.
But the big thing is he did get sentenced in federal court also, but they left him in to run concurrent with his state time. So, I don't know if that would be, I guess if they found that he really didn't die from that and they maybe re-sentence those guys to lesser time. I don't, I
Hmm.
don't, I don't know how that they would do it.
Hmm.
It's, I think. and I know probably a lot of people would disagree with us, but I think, oh, Mac, you said that you think the guy went missing during the night or morning. I read somewhere what time it was. I can't think of now.
So it'd be a night, early morning is probably what it
One
means.
thing about that case up in Minnesota, I think the two guys that got prison time that were rookies, one had been on the job one day and one had been on the job like 2 days, 3 days. They got fired in prison time. I think it was a really bad mistake for that because you can't, and they got prison time because they didn't stop their supervisor from doing something. And if you work in the military or you work as a law enforcement, I'm sorry, you can't. If I had been on the job 2 days, you think I'm going to tell my sergeant or a lieutenant or something, hey, man, you got to stop doing that? I mean, it's just, I think that was, I don't blame those guys for not saying something because it's just, you don't know the authority. You have to have a complete authority in military and law enforcement. You can't have second guessing, especially those guys 2 days on the job. I
I
really,
thought they were supposed to be working towards releasing him because of the findings of the autopsy and
I'm
the
not sure what
official
they,
death
no,
investigation.
I'm not sure. I haven't read anything other than that. I read that. They'll burn the town down again if they do that, though. Um, yeah, this is the Henderson boy. Dana, look real quick that Sebastian. Um,
What do you think about the fires in Los
oh
Angeles
man,
and Palisades?
there is some already some big. I was just telling Dana, Sebastian Roberts. There's already some big conspiracy things going on already. Um, I think they said they had some chemtrails right over that right before that happened. But no, I what they said was I saw they had pictures of Hawaii, uh, another fire, and then the Palisades fire. And they said the trees didn't burn up. That was the big thing. They said it's weird the fire rushed in and some of them and the trees didn't even burn up. Well, what they don't understand is these people that were saying that is the wind's blowing 100 miles an hour. They don't even have chance to get burning or they just completely
Right.
wipe.
It's only going to burn the underbrush. It's not going to necessarily burn up the tree.
Yeah.
But
Tell me what
the thing
morning
though that's
he
most
left his
interesting
house
about
and was
that.
anybody there.
That's not the same person. The one I'm looking at is a guy that was 69 that
No,
died.
no, no. The kid from Hendersonville, Tennessee, that's missing.
Sebastian Roberts.
Yes,
Well, the thing about those fires is though
Rogers,
they knew from the get
Sebastian
go.
Rogers.
They knew from the get go they had some things that they could have done to prevent woods fires in there. They had not been doing backbrush cleanup. They had
Yeah,
not been
they
doing fire
can't.
breaks.
They
They
refused
already
to.
have a history. The history is so predominant over there for woods fires and fires that would catch it and get out of hand from the winds and this, that, and the other. They should have had fire breaks and everything. And then if they, the whole thing was, I saw um, an interview with the fire chief saying there wasn't any water
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
lines and stuff like that, and that's why they didn't even respond to certain areas. It's because they just didn't even have water there.
Well, they haven't back.
Something like that is an infrastructure issue, and that's when the politicians they're
Well,
I
they
think
haven't
they're
back
accountable.
burned anything. They haven't burned them like you said. They haven't went in there and burned off the underbrush because it's something to do with climate change or something. They don't want to do that.
Something out there.
Well, our forestry services and people in
Yeah.
the South, we know how to make sure that we try to do things to prevent things like this from going on, or we would have the same kind of problems. But there's always an issue, even like state parks and everything. They'll go in and they'll cut fire breaks and fire lines all the time with a bulldozer because they do prepare for something like this to possibly take place. You can have an act of God, lightning strike, and it catch fire. You
I
can
mean,
have obviously arson, and somebody obviously intentionally starting a fire. You can have an accidental
we hunt.
campground fire. So there's a multitude of things that they have to be able to be prepared to handle that and
Yeah.
get it under control. I do not understand though if where these houses were, if they even still didn't have water, why were they not getting bulldozers out there to start cutting lines? If they claim they didn't have water, get a bulldozer and start cutting lines. You got to do
Or
something to try to get it to stop. I don't
yeah,
understand.
or if they could have dipped it out of the ocean. I mean, the ocean was right there. I
They
don't
did
know.
because they
Yeah, and I know they've
All
got
right,
fire
let me
planes.
let me
They've
read
got
you
fire planes
something.
over there.
Let me read you something on Sebastian, boy. I looked it up here, and I can't see y'all, but apparently, maybe you can see me. Um, 15 years old, disappeared February the 26th. I thought it was November. February the 26th, 2004. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt and sweatpants. He was last seen near Stanford Court, near his home, and Beach High School. Beach High School. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation (TBI) issued an Amber Alert immediately. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children evaluated the case at the national level. Dozens of agencies and hundreds of people searched for Sebastian, including the United Cajun Navy. TBI, Sumner County Sheriff's Office are asking for information about Sebastian. The TBI is cautioning the public about incoherent or incomplete information from the media. His mother, Katie Proudfoot, which sounds Indian to me, said she was being stalked and harassed by a YouTuber covering the case. Well, that may be where they took pictures of her in that restaurant, and the YouTuber is actually a former FBI agent. On March the 15th, 2024, in order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, we cannot discuss many of the specifics surrounding the case. So the TBI is not really saying anything. 7 months since he disappeared. This says September the 26th. Sebastian Robertson, they gave out 5'5", 120 pounds, dirty blonde hair, and then April the 9th of 2024, said it's been more than a month since anyone has seen him. This is way back when in February, and the TBI, had issued that Amber Alert. Um,
That's correct, Mac. But they can pick up the water from streams and or the ocean or whatever and drop it from the fire plane. But yes, you're absolutely right. If they're going to draft, they're only going to draft from a fresh water source if they're doing something like that to fill a truck.
I don't look like Mr. Magoo. That's silly.
Yeah.
I was reading something.
I wasn't going to say it because I wouldn't, but I was just, I
I was reading.
guess now that the cat's out of the bag, everybody I sent him a
Just,
message telling him that since he don't open his eyes, it
I
looks
was
like
reading.
he's
I,
looking like he's reading like this. I don't see
yeah,
how he can read
I
like
was
Mr.
reading.
he's got to have
I was
surgery.
well. See, here's my issue now. I've got to have surgery. I've been told that these eyelids here need to be cut. I got to have surgery. I'm gonna have them when I get back from Canada. If a
Right,
bear
but
don't,
I
if
don't
a
see how you're reading. That's what
if
I'm
a
trying to tell
bear
you.
does not eat me while I'm in Alaska, I'll get them done.
I don't see how
Um,
you're seeing though. When I'm watching you read it, I'm just like, my goodness, how can you see anything?
well, it's because that my eyes not yours. Um, you agree, Tony? But see, what I did was I had the screen pulled up with that information, and I was reading the information like this.
I'm sorry. That's why I didn't say it out loud. I was trying to not necessarily keep us in a laughing show this evening, but
Yeah, there you
boy,
go,
Mr. McGee.
Mr. Magoo. No, but I've got a camera over there. I put out corn from my deer and my raccoons today on the farm, and my camera is on the cell thing, and I keep getting alerts, and I've got a
is it snow?
no, it's deer. I
Oh,
got right now. I'll get these. I'll open this up, see if you can see this. This is. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's out there right now.
that's good.
Three little doe, three does. I got a big old 12 pointer that has been in there. If somebody didn't get him this last season, big old thing. He had big old
You
horns.
see, you see, Max says he loves Mr. Magoo.
Does
Mac is a boy.
yeah. Mac's a girl. I'm glad that we can establish that for you, Tony.
Well, again, Max says that they love Mr. Magoo.
Yeah, I hear you. Um,
Get the pronouns right.
get the pronouns right now. You got to get the pronouns right.
That's not nice.
Uh, yeah, Dina, you shouldn't be that way.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay, let me see here if I can get one other thing here. Oh,
Ooh,
nonprofit.
Nicole said deer jerky. No.
Well, I love deer meat to eat but I used to hunt all the time. I don't hunt anymore. I just haven't done that. My
Yeah,
brother-in-law used to
it's
get.
probably a good idea that you don't be, and that you just told us today when you were in the show earlier about falling down just by
Yeah,
walking around the property. So
yeah.
yeah,
Not being able to see.
yeah.
Well, no, I just tripped on a fence. It was laying. The fence had folded itself over, and I just tripped. It was, you know. But anyway, I haven't. Oh, Max says he's a guy.
No. I'm sorry.
Dina did that, Mac, not me. I'm sorry.
I thought Mac was a Mac. I'm sorry.
Well, so
Oh
nah.
God.
Uh,
Well, I got somebody mixed up. That's my bad.
okay. But anyway, Nicole, I do. I like deer meat and deer stew and all that kind of stuff. But since I've been feeding them on the property, I don't hunt them out where I feed them. And we had a bunch of them out there. Plus, we haven't. We were just getting our surveys done today. We are going to actually get the property hasn't transferred into our name until another month or two, but uh, they're just doing all of the. We still put corn out and stuff like that. Um, what was I looking at? I was looking at something here. Missing Sebastian Roberts.
Goodness gracious, what you do?
Our cat's going nuts over here. But anyway, we want to really kind of see if we can't dig up what we can on the boy Sebastian Roberts. I really believe that something I am suspicious of the mother after the father, stepfather, or the father. I don't know if he's the father.
Were you able to see that video like for a period of time or something?
Yeah, I watched the video for a period of time. And
How long was the total time of the video that was released?
well, they only released about 15 seconds of it. There's apparently an hour's worth of it. But watched her. She looked back in here and she was looking like she was trying to see somebody. Now, I think they watched something else in the video, is kind of gave some telltale signs. This girl did. I wish I could think of what her channel
Well,
is.
I'm not
Uh,
going to necessarily jump to a conclusion, me personally, of only being able to watch 15 seconds, even though they're highlighting things like that.
but look,
Because I mean, people,
I mean,
you
right
and I
here,
both,
she's
you and I
taking
both, in our
pictures.
experience of being an investigator, well, you can look right there in that picture. you'll find some people looking around.
Yeah, but
It's
not.
not uncommon for someone to look around. They're not going to necessarily stare right at their plate the whole time.
But I
They
mean,
might
the
be able to
way,
look at their cell phone all the time because that seems like that's the new thing of the world today.
yeah,
But
but the way she was looking, Tony, she was not just glancing. She was looking for somebody. I'm telling you, she
I don't
was
know.
looking.
All I can say is, how many times you been in a restaurant and they drop plates?
Well, I know, but this was
How many
not.
times have you been in a restaurant and they start giggling, somebody's cutting up at another table, and people kind of look over there at them?
Yeah,
So
it was a little different though, and the fact is that she was taking pictures of him, which I don't know. It just seemed a little funny to me. But I guarantee you that's her that she's talking about.
yeah,
But it was the day before he went missing, and I would just like to see a polygraph of the stepfather and her to see if she had anything to do with it. I don't know if she would take one or not, though. Or I don't know if they asked her even. Usually, you in a missing person case, you asked, uh, you you always check the family first. You know, always, and that's just like the Ramsey case. Um, the what's her first
did
name?
she
John
use the
Benet.
pictures? Did she use the pictures after he disappeared? I don't know. Do you know that?
I don't know, but John Benet Ramsey case, they first went and looked at the parents first, and I don't know that. I don't know that I'm still very suspicious of the mother in that case.
Yeah.
I really am.
I would like to know why it is that they supposedly said that the father fled.
Well, yeah, this I think the father moved out of the area, but his son, that is kind of and they indicate behind him Oklahoma. I don't know if what that is. That was a post on social media, and it actually is alive right there. You could go um, look up Seth fled, and I bet you there is a video on that on YouTube. I just
Mm.
didn't go and looked at it, but I don't know why that looks like the father, but there, um, I don't know. There's, I don't know. I know. Let me see if I can find out who put that out though, because I do have a.
Dina, can you hear me? I guess we lost him. I'm not sure if everybody can hear me or not. Can anybody hear me? Okay. Gail, I
Hey,
see what you're saying.
all right, here.
Oh, okay. You're back. We
Yeah,
didn't know where you went.
this JLR Investigations is who put out that film talking about Seth fled. JLR Investigation. I don't know what he is or if he's a retired
If
cop
it
or
if it's uh if it's who I think it is, That's an interesting character.
Yeah, I've listened to him before, and he is an interesting character. But I don't know. That's why I said I don't know his history. If he's got any law enforcement history or not. But
I don't think
that's
he. I don't think he has any
but
law
the
enforcement.
FBI girl, the one that had put up this video about him being in that restaurant. She was a former FBI agent, so she knows at least she knows what she's doing in that aspect.
Yeah.
Although a lot of the FBI and federal agents that they don't work a lot of that stuff. They work kidnappings, but they don't really work.
Can you see that?
Um, yes,
That's Sleet,
where is that?
just north of Birmingham, between Birmingham and Huntsville.
Huh? Okay.
It's coming into the area now.
Well, I don't. I'm kind of thinking he ain't gonna do nothing. I don't know. I just been, you get they cry wolf so much that sometimes I think they're
Yeah,
not.
I did you see what Mac just put? He hypes things up too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Hey, Cantora is in Nashville.
well, if you
Yeah,
know Cantora, we used to have a thing about Cantora. This is going off base here a little bit, but the Weather Channel, when he goes down to a hurricane, wherever he goes, it's not going to hit there. That's what we always said. If he came to the Gulf Coast, well, we're probably safe. He's not going to hit where he's at.
Hey
But
Mac, hey Mac, I think that guy is something like. Listen to this. That's what he does them kind of shows for.
what?
Did you not hear me?
Yeah,
You hear this?
clickbait. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some people that actually that's how they do it on everything. They clickbait on every. There's an RVer that I know. That's every single video they have is clickbait. Honestly, every single one of them. And I don't know.
Oh
Um,
well, I guess they make money on YouTube, so
oh
it's all
yeah,
good.
they do. That's for sure. I can't get monetized on my other channel. I don't know what. I don't know if I'll ever get monetized. But I'm
Well,
still
at
going.
least when we talk about a case, we actually talk about it from a investigative
Yeah.
perspective.
Well, listen, it is 9 o'clock and it's been out here an hour. I'm going to actually, yeah, I agree with you, Mac. I 100% agree with you. Uh, the game is in the last quarter and they're tied up. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's Notre Dame and Penn State, so I'm going to watch the last quarter, even though I'm like I don't really care. I kind of like to see Notre Dame win just because a good buddy of mine's a big Notre Dame fan, but that's the only reason. Um,
I thought you did wanted it for the Fighting Irish.
well, no, I mean I am part of my family's Irish. My mother was a Tucker, that was the Irish. Everybody was Irish, uh, but anyway, we do appreciate y'all that came on tonight and stuck it out with us. We are gonna still follow Sebastian, and we're gonna keep up with that, and also keep up with that real estate agent. Find out because that is just a strange situation. I mean that he disappears without a trace, and
Yeah, I would like to know a little bit more about how they found the vehicle. If
it
it
was
was in
it was
fact broke
abandoned.
down, how
It
much
was,
gas
they
is in
said
it.
that it was broke down, and it was abandoned on the side of the Interstate 40. You see my cat there, Moses. Moses has been in my lap just about. There he goes. He's been in my lap for about 2 or 3 days here. He wants to be right up on me all the time. But Moses, oh, he puts his claws out when I try to pick him up. But uh, but anyway, we'll follow that. And if anything else, I am steadily checking on the Barry Murphy case to see when and if they have a DA in there that will take a hold of this case and decide to run with it. I just cannot believe that he has sat there and been out of jail for this long and nobody has decided to do anything with it. It's just right, really, I just cannot imagine. If I was that family, that of Suzanne's family, I'd be jumping up and down for sure.
Well, so you're telling me that I had the lights on too bright tonight for you?
Your lights are pretty bright.
Well, these are the lights that you gave me because you told me that
Yeah.
my setting was too dark, and so I'm using your lights right now that you gave me.
His eyes are like that.
Yeah, your eyes are like that. Dina said your eyes are almost closed. See, your eyes, your eyes are squinting
Well,
too.
I can tell you why my eyes are squinting because of that bright light.
But see what you can do though. You can actually turn your light a little bit towards the ceiling, and
Mhm.
it won't be as bright.
How's that?
That's better. It's a lot better.
Okay.
All right. Well, y'all come see us next Thursday. I don't know. I'm gonna try to be available next Thursday. I'm having that procedure done on my back on Wednesday at 12:30. So y'all keep me in your prayers for that. It's nothing. Shouldn't be no big thing, but you know, ever for if nothing else, keep me in your prayers that everything goes good on it. And this time it takes. It'd be really great if it worked this time. So I'll let you know later in the week if we're going to be in on Thursday or not.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll
Good
and
seeing you. Good seeing everybody on here tonight.
yeah, and if you go over to the 1 million mile road trip, if we have snow or ice, I will be posting it. Huh?
I said,
Fur.
Fur.
And but anyway, thank y'all. Thank you for coming, and I probably will try to get us an intro. I'm not 100% satisfied with this new software I have. It's antiquated, to say the least.
You seem to be working pretty well tonight, so I
It
like it.
is, but I had to go and re-enter everything that I did earlier.
I put my book on.
Good. And but anyway, I gotta get this cat down and get. I don't know what he wants. So I'm gonna put this up for about 20 seconds so we can have at the end of it. You know, I put the the two things at the end of it. So I gotta have 20 seconds of kind of blank space actually. So anyway, y'all take care, and we hope the weather you stay out. Don't have any problems with the weather, and y'all
Everybody
take.
be blessed.
And we will see you next Thursday. And see, I can't make anything happen right now.
I'm out of here.
All right, we'll see you.